So in this case with the movie, how did you personally prepare for all of that? Did you have a talk with Seth before, with the directors? What happened?
I Skyped with the directors and the producers, and they were just really kind, good guys. I knew that they would treat the material with a lot of love and make sure it was a really collaborative, safe set, and I was just excited to work with them.
I have to swallow my...
Do you want to? You don't? Oh my god.
I'm good because
Okay.
I hate when other people talk to me with chewing
I
gum.
didn't even notice. Okay.
And, I just realized, wow. Okay, and then, but also when you read the script, didn't you think, oh, that's something really special? That's something which I never read in.
Yeah, I thought, wow, I haven't seen a movie, a comedy, really tackle 12-year-old boys or 12-year-old girls even, just like that awkward time when some of your friends are still kids and some of your friends are ready to be teenagers. I think that time lends itself to so much humor.
Absolutely. And also, I figure that with my godchildren and also with my colleagues here who have children in that age, I think some adults have to get a reality check how far the kids are already. Because the adults think, oh no, they're kids. No, they're not anymore. You want them to be, but
Totally.
the reality
Exactly. And good parenting will say, now that you know what these things are, it doesn't mean you can say the swear words, it doesn't mean anything, but that's the time that you're learning it. That's the time that you're asking the questions. And we're living in a time where there's no really way to escape kids knowing things because they're just going to see them on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, they see them on TV and they go on YouTube, they go on YouPorn,
exactly.
you have everything open, know. And they see the parents watch porn and of course, it's like that's part of our reality today.
It is part of our reality. So the more that we can educate people and the more that parents can be open and have these conversations with their kids and not shelter them will be good because then they won't go seeking it. I think it's beautiful when you see these boys and their parents are so close, and I think they have really open discussions, and I love that.
Absolutely. And also I think, I think if you always condemn, for example, in Germany, we don't beep when you say fuck or things like that, we don't beep that. Because I think in the moment you make it like, oh, don't say that, you say it because you're in puberty. And
it's
of course
when you can't have sugar growing up, you then binge sugar. Yeah.
You always do the opposite, and that's normal of growing up.
Definitely.
What was your most rebellious, or is still, your most rebellious side? In which way are you?
I'm an only child. I was very close with my parents, so when I snuck out of the house once to go to a party, I was like, I'm sneaking out of the house to go to a party. But I totaled my car once. That was not a good moment. That was maybe a rebellious moment.
So is your relation with your parents like, are they more loose and laid back? More friendship?
We definitely have a beautiful friendship, but they're still my parents and they still taught me right from wrong, but there was an openness in our household, and I saw Anchorman when I was 12 years old, and I loved that they brought me to things at that age to start to just see ooh, I want to be in comedies like this. They would, because I didn't have siblings, I wasn't left with my siblings. I was kind of brought to the more adult functions, which was great because I learned to speak for myself at a younger age. Yeah.
And when you see boys in your age, I always had the feeling growing up, or still today actually, that men are much more childish, or maybe that's only my personal wrong perception.
I think definitely that is very true. I think some men can be very childish. Women, and then some women can be childish too. I can be a little childish sometimes, but no, women are more ahead. I would definitely say
a little bit more mature. I don't know why that is.
Because we're amazing. We birthed. I have not birthed, but we could birth a child.
Yes.
Yes.
You didn't have a child.
No, I don't have a child yet. No.
But if you have the concept of family, you said you're a single daughter.
Yeah.
Did you often long when I have only a sister, and we often had the feeling it would be so nice to have a big brother,
Yeah.
Did you have that?
I think I definitely wanted that, but I have I'm so close with them. I love being an only child, and I have such good family friends that feel like my siblings. And now I have 3 little brothers. Yeah.
Little ones.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And on set, because you just talked about the little boys, when you were on set, I mean, was there like, how did that work? Because it's politically very incorrect,
Yes.
right? And was there somebody there, like a psychologist? I don't know. Was it the parents who guided you? Who was there? Can you describe that?
Yeah, I think that the parents were there at every moment, and everything was, handled really delicately. But didn't need to be a lot of guidance. I think everything was set up to just make it a really professional set, and the kids were really professional. They came to work to do their job and to also have a lot of fun, and yeah.
Because the movie is rated R, so the boys never can watch the movie, or what's going to happen? How is that?
I think they saw the movie, but it's a movie for adults.
Yeah.
Just as action movies or horror movies that have kids in them are not for kids. They're just actors doing their job, but it is a movie for adults.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it reminds you back to your childhood, growing up, and that's why the humor is also so completely important in that,
Totally.
right?
There's so much humor in how awkward you were at 11, because everything is just the biggest deal.
Absolutely, everything is like shocking, and how you deal with it at the end, right? And then also in working together, did you have kind of this family feeling on set?
Yeah.
And how much was Seth involved in the whole thing?
He wasn't there on set, but he was very involved in the script and in the process, and he had 2 producers that were on set that were very involved. But no, it was definitely like a really just kind group of people, a really good group. I felt it was very uncomplicated.
Very nice. And were you invited to kissing parties? And do you remember your first one?
I was, but the bottle went around and it didn't land, and the guy that it landed on didn't want to kiss me. He wanted to kiss a different girl, so I didn't get kissed that night. It would be years later.
But sometimes we have that in Germany. It's not only guys, it's girls and boys are sitting around. And I remember my first one, I had a girl I had to kiss. And I thought at that age, that's awkward. You know, I wanted a guy, but then...
Totally, yeah. I think I kissed one of my girlfriend and I when we were like 11. We were like, what's it like to kiss? And we did a quick peck. We were like, well, we're just friends, but I'm glad we've kissed somebody. Yeah.
Do you think today, when you talk to your parents, do you think today it's more complicated because the world is much more open through social media and stuff like that? Is it more complicated today too?
I definitely think it's more complicated today. It's really hard to be a parent because you want, exactly what we were talking about, you want to let your kid be a part of the world and have access to being able to talk to their friends, but you also want to make sure that they're not seeing everything and not growing up too fast. But I also think it's a good time to be a kid because I think we have our world is getting into having better morals and being more open about speaking up for yourself, and I think that, but our also world is not in a good place, so parents need to tell the kids that our politicians are not fantastic, don't be like them. I think it's a hard time. Yeah,
it is. And also when you think about what do I want to become, I mean, now you're an actress, but was there any other ideas you had before? What were your dreams to become?
I really wanted to have like a food blog or have my own. I was such a big Anthony Bourdain fan, and I love him. He's so spectacular, and I wanted to have like a food blog or a food show. I love food so much, and I wanted to travel and talk about food.
Now you travel and talk about movies. That's not bad, right?
No, exactly.